What is up, guys? So it's been a very long time since I've actually done a commentary, but I'm going to do them again because I want to upload a bit more regularly, and the content I was doing was good, and I'm still going to try and do a bit of that content, but it's really hard to do it all the time and do regular uploads, and I don't really want my channel to die out like that after all this time. So yeah, so today I thought I'd do a video on tips for winning Overwatch Ranked. This is just my personal opinion. This doesn't mean, I'm some pro at Overwatch Ranked. I'm not even Diamond. I got really close to Diamond, but I didn't actually make it there. But what I'm going to be telling you guys today is a way to win Ranked, and obviously I'm trying to do these tips as well, but it does take a lot of practice and you need to be dedicated to doing Overwatch every single day. So I wanted to start by talking about queuing. Solo queuing will matchmake you with a lot of different people compared to queuing in big groups of 6 pre-mades. The way the system works is that if you're in a group of 6, you'll get matched against a group of 6, making it most of the time harder for you to win, because most of them are really playing every single day, practicing and stuff like that. And it is much harder to win unless you and your team are well coordinated and play regularly, and getting to know 2 characters well and playing solo can get you a lot of SR, and you can make your way up very easily. The most effective characters to learn for solo queuing are healers like Mercy, Anna, and not too much Lucio, as his healing is quite subtle and it's not direct healing, so it doesn't have a massive impact on the game. Obviously you can as Lucio, but as I'm sure you guys have played him before, he doesn't make an entire impact on the game, whereas direct healers can, really help out the game. And mastering these players can mean you can keep the worst players alive, and I'm sure even you guys remember from day 1 of Overwatch, doesn't matter how bad you might have been, you can still get a kill every now and then, and healers are so important in Ranked, and obviously it's fun to play other characters like DPS and tanks, but healers do impact the entire game, and if you know how to play them correctly, you're going to see yourself getting many more wins and getting hopefully to Diamond Master, even Grandmaster. Now, this is by far the most important thing for Ranked. Without it, you and your team are like headless chickens, and most of the time it ends in the enemy team getting team kills on you and you losing the game, and let's not forget the SR as well with that. Communication is key, and I know a lot of people dislike talking because most of the time no one else communicates also, and you kind of feel alone. This can be hard, especially when solo queuing, but if you communicate to your team, say, watch out for that sniper top left, you've literally just told your entire team to be aware of a Widowmaker, and most likely saved one of your teammates from being sniped, and that could save you the point, save you the payload, you never know. And you don't even need to get a response. As long as your teammates can hear you, then you communicating can really change the game. Before, when I was new to Ranked, and I never spoke at all, it was hard to plan out combo ults, strategies, and much more for the game. When I finally learned to communicate, it kept the team enthusiastic and motivated, and I saw much less flaming going on and people trolling. There was literally none of that, hardly ever anymore. And if you ever wanted to do Ranked, make sure you join team chat, get the team talking right off the bat with a, hello, something on that line, get people talking, because some people get a bit shy at the beginning, don't really want to be the first to speak, and it will hopefully get better by speaking to people and communicating. And when you plan out the game just right, you see yourself winning games in sometimes under 10 minutes. I've had insane games while communicating, and it goes really well. So just remember to communicate, guys, and that is the biggest important tip for Overwatch Ranked. Next, we have feeding the enemy, which is probably one of the most common things in Overwatch Ranked. This is where one of the team dies, most likely the tank, the front line, and there's no form of protection. Everyone else dies a little after each other because there's no tank, everyone pushes in, and the team respawns at different times. I constantly see this in ranked games, the team going in one by one, slowly feeding the enemy charges for their ults, which means they can hold off longer and most likely win the game, especially if it's defending, attack. And some people panic about the timer and rush in, trying to get their picks for the team, but what is actually better is waiting up that extra 10 seconds, it's not even that long, or so, just to regroup and rethink the strategy, communicate, and instead of rushing in and costing at least, another 2 minutes of the game trying to get picks because you keep dying and charging up their ults and they can hold it off longer, this is the most important thing, to be honest. I keep saying that for each one, they're all really important. I sometimes do it myself, to be honest, and get a little bit greedy at times, and I'm sure we all do it, but honestly, start staying back for the teammates and grouping up, and watches you die a lot less and take objectives much faster than before. This game is all about team composition. One good DPS against 6 defenders isn't going to work, and it doesn't matter how many picks you get, you'll still die when your team needs to push, and they can easily respawn and get back to that point and defend it or whatever. So please don't be one of those people that just rushes in and charges up the enemy team's ults. Just wait behind, regroup, and you'll watch as you win much more. Next, we have team composition. I see in plenty of games people choosing their main or favourite hero without thinking of the team or anything else. This usually ends up with a tank, maybe a healer, and a load of DPS, which really isn't effective in any way of winning the game or defending. And the best way to deal with people is just to stay calm, keep the team calm by communicating with them, and get your team to work around the person. I've done this plenty of times, and it does work as long as they cooperate as well. And you know, you can't always guarantee they're going to cooperate, but if they don't, you know, it's just a bit of bad luck. I get it all the time, and you just have to stay calm, enjoy the game, play it for some XP, and just grind and grind and grind till you get so good at one character or a few characters that you can actually help win that game. Because I've won plenty of games with 5v6. It's pretty insane that you can do that if you just cooperate with your team. If that one person doesn't want to cooperate, just play the game like there's 6 of you there. Just play it like you really want to win, and sometimes it can actually win. And if you don't, who cares? It's just a game. You're gonna get better over time, and that's all about practicing and, you know, dedicating yourself to a game like this. If someone in the chat asks for a certain hero as well, and say the other DPS or so they won't switch, make sure you do. Being stubborn and not making a good composition will only make you lose the game, and it's a team game after all, and we're all going to have to play characters we dislike or are bored playing. Alright guys, so finally for my last tip, it is know your maps. It helps if you play quick play often and learn which characters you play well with and on what maps. Also get to learn ways of flanking the enemy and vice versa when they come to flank you. Knowing a map inside out is very important. This means like you can pop ults better, you can get kills much easier as the enemy won't actually see you until you just, you know, kill them. Knowing maps well can actually help you whether you're a tank, healer or DPS. Each map has around 3 different ways to go to the one control point, sometimes 2. The tank has to choose, you know, which way to go. An example of knowing your maps would be, say on Numbani, this happened to me recently, where you could choose to go far left instead of up the stairs, because that's where the enemy is most likely going to be set up and located, because they always do that. It's most likely what everyone's going to do. If you don't know a map very well, go into a custom game and have a look around. You'll be surprised at how many secret flank routes there are in each map, and that you probably would have never noticed beforehand. Anyway, that is it for my top 5 tips for Overwatch Ranked. I hope these tips will help you guys become better at Ranked overall, and remember, it is just a game. You only get better with time, so don't let the game bring you down because of a couple of bad games. I've had plenty of bad games. It's just bad luck, honestly. Some days you'll get really good games, some days you'll get really bad games. That should just motivate you to try harder, practice more. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.